morning. How are you? How's it going? I don't know if you're here joining the room, but just doing a good night meditation. Not sure why I'm fuzzy on my camera. I'll try to figure that out. Hold on. It's good. I'll switch it up. Not too sure. Maybe switch the camera around. Well, talking about Goodnight Meditation, and what Goodnight Meditation is I'm talking about the delta wave. So when you're trying to achieve a REM sleep or rapid eye movement sleep, this delta wave is a hertz. It's an oscillation pattern that flows within the brain. If you were to put these, called an EEG, an electroechogram, and it actually shows the wavelengths within the brain. And if you were to put that, these, if you've ever seen it in the hospital, it goes on your head and it has these, about 100 probes on the head, and it shows the patterns within the brain. But to get into a nice heavy sleep, you want to get to the delta wave. That's that deep REM. It goes from, when you're meditating, you're in a theta wave, so it's right below that. So the theta wave is oscillating where you're aware of what's going on and you're listening to your breath, and you get into like a visualization, you think about things. And the delta sleep is when, after you've come from the meditation and you close your eyes and you've gone into your rest, that you just fall into the dream, fall into that nice fullness of your sleep and your breath, because when you wake up, you feel the restedness. You feel it, because what happens is you've been able to, with meditation, you've been able to get to that theta, that visualization, that breath in the brain. And then what it has is the brain, instead of all this clutter and all this all over the place, it's then brought you down to this, I call it the awesome, it's not just deep, but it's like, spiritual, but yet it's the real stuff. And the most sad part about it is majority of us do not sleep really in that deepness. Out of a 7-day week, maybe we get 2 of those days, maybe 1 of those days in a good deep sleep. But majority of us are on the higher octaves of waves. They're in the gamma, or the when you're just if you'll notice when you're sleeping, or you'll wake up and you'll find yourself not rested in the morning, and you're like, oh, why am I tired? And that's what happens, is that you come into these moments of not getting, beyond. So if you hear in the background, I have just a nice subtle tone. It's usually, they're called binaural waves or binaural sounds, but it's usually sounds that have minimal, almost in a monotone sound, and it keeps it flowing, so that when you're asleep, I recommend them when you're really having trouble sleeping. Not guided meditation, you can maybe do that prior, we can go through one now with breath. But right before sleep, or if you're at home and you feel like when you're just about to go to sleep, put on binaural beats or a very monotone sound. Sometimes it would be ocean, like a lake, or the ocean flowing. And what that'll do is it kind of it puts your brain waves and your body into this nice even tone. Prior to that, you can do the meditation, which will do breath work. Anita Wing Lee did a beautiful chakra meditation. You go into those first, and then you can kind of get yourself down, and then you'll come into an awesome, fullness. I am so excited this evening. Thanks for joining us in this room. I'm so excited. I will be in the global meditation. I don't know if you can see that if I flip it around. Global meditation scope with a whole bunch of awesome people from around the world. I'll be presenting, I don't know, maybe on the 12th. And I'll be doing a little bit of movement, a little bit of breath work, and hanging out that day with so many awesome other energetic, peaceful minded, and changers in the world. So I'm excited to meet many people, and if not today, another day. But to bring that vibe down just a little bit, I'm just going to do just a minute of breath here, and then I'm going to bring up that binaural sound so we can really hear it, and so you'll hear kind of that, just turn it up a little bit, and you can you hear that? Can you hear the sound? It has more of an even tone to it. Okay, so this is my Heart Home Om studio, and most of my scopes and meditations and yoga and wellness tips and all of that will be out of here. I am an integrative registered nurse and wellness educator. I speak, I do seminars and retreats all over, and I'm very thankful to meet so many people in this community. But let's get to just a small breath meditation. You can hear that sound, that nice softness. I usually come to the back, to the wall, if my back is, bothering me. Sometimes to sit too long, it's a little sometimes challenging. Or if I want to do a flow, kind of go back and forth. So I come to the back by the wall. I put my feet, out or across, whatever, I support my back with the wall here. I feel my legs down into the floor, energetic breath. I imagine and notice my breath, but most importantly, I hear those sounds as they resonate from my feet all the way to the ground, out of my head, and then back down, all the way down to my feet. I bring one hand to my heart, one hand to my belly, listening to sounds, the tone, feeling my breath in my chest, and my lungs expand. Maybe there's moments where the breath and the thoughts meet, and the sound intertwine within. Falling more and walking down. Maybe you see a step, some stairs. Maybe you're just sitting here imagining a bubble that surrounds you, a nice, safe, warmness that protects you, or a blanket. And you're going to count down in your mind, or just imagine, from 10. 9. And with every number that goes down lower and lower, you find yourself deeper hope some of that helps a little bit. I'll put on the music for just a few more minutes. That's just one of many sounds and delta kind of mood that you can be in that will really kind of get you on that level so you can help sleep better. I highly recommend before bed listening to one of those audible tunes to kind of get you in a nice even tone, or even putting it on very low near your bed, and when you're sleeping your mind can go into that reset. And then of course always coming to your breath or doing a nice movement flow. Just reach those arms up, stretch up. Bring the arms behind you. Interlace the hands, lift the chest up. Exhale the head down. One more time, reach the arms up. Feel that energy come from the crown of your head down to the floor. And the sounds as it resonates in the light and the warmness as it fills you up. You have a wonderful evening. So excited to be a part of Global Meditation Scope. It's awesome. Please go follow Anita Wingley. She's super cool, and she has such a movement trying to bring meditation all over the world, from all different types of people. So many cool, awesome people you need to meet, and I want to thank you, Anita, for letting me be a part of it. And all of you tonight, I hope you learned a little bit about the delta wave. I go into it a lot deeper in a lot of my workshops or meditations. You have a wonderful evening. Good night, my dear friends.